Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the joining this session. I hope everyone is good and safe. I would like to thank the Byjus team, Mr. Akash, Mr. Adarsh Pandey, and Hitesh Sharma for joining this event. My name is Devansh, and I'm from Washili, and I am the host of this event. You will be connected me regarding the pre-talk session for Byjus. I will request to every job seeker to attend this session till end. If they have any queries, please write down further when the pre-talk session is over. Comment your queries in the comment box. We will entertain after the presentation and pre-talk. Okay. Without wasting much time, I would like to hand over this session to our Byju's team to continue the presentation.
All right. Okay. So first of all, a very good afternoon, a very warm welcome to all of you for this webinar, right? And to all those champions, those who are available with us, through various other platforms, right? So today, obviously, the agenda is the agenda is pretty clear. Like that, will be moving further. We'll be discussing more on the Byju's. We'll be discussing more on the what are the opportunities which you guys will be having. Uh, Post this webinar and obviously the mindset training which is required today. If you want to learn, if you want to grow professionally, right? So what are the set of things which one needs to attain at the end of the day, right? So we'll be discussing all those things, right? So yes, if I talk more on myself, I am basically Akash. I have been serving this organization since last 5 years, right? I joined back in 2017 as an intern. Back then, like I was a fresh graduate, studied from SRM Chennai, right? So post that, like I started my journey as a intern, like as I said, into sales itself, right? To be very honest, I was not into more into sales. Like I never wanted to get in, like never the thought came into like to start my career into sales. It is that the vision which has clicked, and that is how I got into, right? So 2 months into training, then got promoted as a business development associate, right? So back then, from I got transferred to Ahmedabad, which was a new city, right? Opened that city, established those cities. Then again, like once the Ahmedabad was settled down, like we were 8 people team back then. Currently, that particular office, you won't believe, like that office is currently of the strength is somewhere around close to 300, 400 people right now, right? If I talk more only on the sales part, like the sales force which we are having in Ahmedabad right now, right? So it's been a great journey with Byjus so far. I have seen Byjus grow from from 10 to 100, I would say, like because 0 to 10 ka journey they have already traveled, right? So from 10 to 100, 10 to 90, I would say, I would correct myself, right? Because there's still something is still left, right? And that is what we try to achieve on a daily basis, right? So currently I'm serving the organization as a zonal manager, wherein if I talk about my team, or if the KRA of mine is majorly into recruitment training, right? And obviously the onboarding part. So it is my team who will be taking care for all those starting from your your interview conduction till once you get placed, and then the training part. So everything will be taken care by my team. Yeah. So this is a quick glance of mine, like so it's been a not a smooth journey at the same time, right? Because once you're working into a startup, you need to be up for each and everything. Like as I said, I was engineer first, right? Then got into sales, currently into L&D as well. So performing into various different domain, and giving the best. So that is the best thing about which I love about this organization, is like if you have that what to say, अगर वो कीड़ा है आपके अंदर, right? If you want to thrive yourself, you want to utilize your creativity, this particular organization will give you that opportunity at every level, right? So that is a quick glance of mine, right? So I thank the vocally team as well, so that they have associated with us, and for all those people, those who have joined with us currently, right? So without without wasting much of our time, we'll be smoothly going to the to what Byju's is basically. Because That is what the curiosity which we all would be having, from where the journey got started, and what is our future goal and ambition, and where are we right now currently. Okay. So I'll share the screen. Just allow me a minute. I think the screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. So so if I talk about the journey, how we started back, and so you would, by far you would have, done a quite of research about Byjus sir, who he was and how the thing got started. So uh, we all know, right? We have studied, the company got established in 2011, but the journey of Byjus, that was started back in 2006 and 2007, right? So that was a time wherein Baiju sir came to his hometown. Like he's also basically engineer. He's a mechanical engineer. He was working into Middle East back then, right? In the initial of 2000s, right? So during his vacation, he came to his hometown, wherein his four of his friend, they were preparing for CAT examination, right? I hope some of you have already given those examination as well, right? So you would be knowing, like, is the screen is visible now as well?
Yes, screen is visible.
It's visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if I talk about his journey, like back in 2007, which he started, he uh, wherein he helped his friend, preparing for all those CAT examination, and the intention was, just to help. The intention was never to get into a coaching institute, or becoming a teacher, or becoming an entrepreneur. That was never was into thought. That is also, that all came in, by natural, right? So since his friend were preparing for the examination, they were registering themselves for the CAT examination. They have also asked Baiju sir as well to prepare for the examination, right? I'm talking about the year in 2006 and 2007, right? This was the first time wherein he gave the CAT examination. जो भी पढ़ाई किया या फिर जो भी प्रिपरेशन की होगी, obviously he might have done, based upon what his friends have done, right? So, and the result, you all would be astonished too, or you might be thinking of key, this might be a cook up story as well at the same time. But the reality is he scored 100 percentile in the first attempt, right? So 100 percentile in the first attempt, that means, that could be a fluke as well at the same time, because as a normal human being, we always thought about, no, ki ठीक है, एग्जाम में गए, ABCD, जय माता दी, will 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 figure it out something, right? So this could also be one of those cases. But 100 percentile again cannot be a fluke. But again, for some people, it could be, right? So again, like, so that is something which has increased his own curiosity, and has given him the clarity, what to do next, right? Because he always been into corporate since, he was into corporate since 3 4 years by then, right? So then he spoke to his parents, and his parents were supportive enough at the same time, right? And then he started with the coaching institutes. So coaching institutes, words mein zyada nahi bolunga, but he started with 40 logo ke batch se. He started in his own terrace itself, back in 2007. At the same time, that 40 student ka batch got turned into 200 because of the reference and all. And again he gave the second attempt in 2007 ka. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट ही गेव in 2006, and second attempt he gave in 2007. But again the result remains the same. There was no change in the result. Again he topped in second attempt as well, right? So from here, if we could all think of as, there could be n number of chances wherein he could go into various ABC IMs as well, right? Or the prestigious business school as well, right? He had that opportunity back then, right? But he chose, to give something to his own passion, right? The passion was always, to create an impact, and to provide solution to to the real life example, problems, right? So by far you would all agree with me, everything got transformed, right? Starting from the technology, from computer got turned into desktop, got turned into laptop. Now everything got turned out, right? Eventually, this thing, what we say, the if I talk about each and every technology, right, whether it's a washing machine or smart lights and all, right? But if I talk about the education part today as well, it remains the same, right? Those blackboard or whiteboard got turned into a maybe the video based learning, but again, with those ppt kind of presentation, that is something still lagging in the school system, right? And back in 2006 and 7 there was nothing as such as well, right? So it is, so what Baiju sir or he as a or the team has done back then is they have revolutionized the education system, right? So that is the impact they have created by far, right? So currently if I talk about this today day, we are somewhere on close to 15 crore students, those who are learning with us, right? So that is in 2000 sorry. So in 2022, we have successfully completed our 12 years as well, like officially 12 years, but unofficially it's close to 17, 16 to 17 years we have done with this organization, right? So if I talk about post 2007, like he started again, he started traveling into 9 cities in 7 different days, right? So again, the challenge was the time management at the same time, because 9 cities में his seminar or webinar used to happen over there, right? Seminar conduct करते थे वो CAT के लिए, and for the UPSC aspirant as well, right? So it gets difficult at time to travel, and continuously he did for 2.5 years approximately, right? So then we got switched into VSAT model. Now if I talk about the VSAT model, is through satellite. So Byjus sir used to stay at a particular place. We used to have centers into various different cities, right? Wherein he so he used to get broadcast like the way I'm getting broadcast from Bangalore right now, right? So similarly, in the similar way, he get broadcasted, like his learning got broadcasted on a particular time slot. But again, the challenge would be for a uh, office going people, right? Because they were also, so fresher can manage the time at the same time, but it gets difficult for those who were working at the same time, right? So that is how the think and learn got incorporated, right? Wherein the next thought which came into was to provide solution to all those students, and obviously at the same times, he wanted to give something into a self learning platform, right? So that is how the the origin of the Byjus app, known, which you might be knowing, like if I talk about today, we have become the world largest edtech company right now, right? So this is what the journey of ours, right? From 2007 to 2011, right? After 7 to 11, so this 4 years which you can see, after the incorporated of Thinkle and Private Limited, those 4 years was totally devoted into a content making, because the thought was always to create impact, right? As I already mentioned, and to create those impact, and to provide a quality education or the quality learning, right? So those 4 years were totally devoted into that itself, right? We launched the application in 2015, wherein the content was from 6th to 12th, we were dealing with, right? And then switchly we have upgraded our learning as well. Then in by 2016, and we were into 4 to 6 classes as well. So till 2017, or the early of 20 uh, 18, right? The courses was only till 4 to 12th, UPSC, GRE, as UPSC, GMAT, and CAT. And obviously a few of the bank PO were also there, right? If I talk about in the early 18s, 2018, right? Then obviously with then the the acquired we have acquired Osmo as well, right? In 2019. So few of you might have thought, that acquisition happens, to become something big. But at our case, the acquisition happens, so that we can we all the brilliant minds, those who have the similar thought process, we all wanted to came together, and we want to provide the best of the content. So that is something, by 2019 we have acquired with Osmo. That is a next level program of ours, right? That is Disney, Byju's early learning program, right? So that is a program for early learn, that is from nursery to class 3, right? Through various animations and visualization, and we have used the cartoon characters as well, right? So that the student can connect, or the child can connect with them, easily, right? And then we all know in 2020 the pandemic got hit, right? So that is a time wherein I would say, like, the date, I still remember the date, right? So on 20th of March, 14 to 20th ke beech mein, the lockdown was announced. And then within that 10 days, right? Because within that 10 days we have to launch something that we can help student learning, right? Because that is a new session. So that is so in those 10 days we were Hazel World, right? And we have done a successful launch in those 10 days. That is a Byju's learning, right? Wherein a teacher used to there, and they take some batches, we have concluded student into, or distributed student into those batches, and that the Byju's classes was launched, right? And then a few of the updation was happened, right? At the same time, Whitehead Junior and Akash got onboarded with us as well, right? And currently we have Byju's tuition centers as well across India, and reinvented what Byju's classes was back in 2020, right? So this is what the journey which we have right now. Okay. If I talk about the presence right now, we are present with 5 continents, with 10 plus countries globally. And if I talk about India itself, like, we have offices in all the tier 1, tier 2 cities, with close to 200, 250 uh, offices right now, which we are dealing currently. Okay. And so if I talk about more on the age group, what are the age group which we cater right now, like, that is for school going student. As I already mentioned, the Osmo wala part, right? Osmo, Byju's tablet learning program, you have, which you might have seen, few of you, if you have downloaded the application or during your school's days, right? So the age group from 4 to 14, like till 10 standard, we deal into a school student, school based app, right? For test preparation, Byju's learning app, Akash plus Byju's, and Byju's IES, right? So we started with this itself, right? That is CAT की preparation के लिए and IS की preparation के लिए ही, that is our first model which we started. The Byju's sir, started his classes, with those things itself, right? And we have also acquired with Great Learning, right? So Great Learning is basically a platform wherein all the upgradation part, if you want to upskill yourself, right? From age group of 20 to 40, we have n number of SQs over there, right? So you can go through it, and you can learn based upon your own requirement and what you want to pursue ahead, right? So this is majorly on the Byju's part, right? I won't be taking much of your time, speaking more on Byju's. Like, the agenda is not to market Byju's, right? The agenda is to give the best of the ideas. So from there, what we can conclude is, like, if we all have vision, if your vision is clear, and if your vision is clear, not in terms of what you want to pursue in future, but vision is clear, that you want to become something at certain point of time, or you want to grow as fast, uh, you know with in comparison to what your peer members are, or uh, peer colleagues are doing, right? So if you want to uh, upskill yourself, if you want to utilize your creativity in a right direction, right? So the the foremost thing is, one needs to have that one to establish those monotonous life, right? If I talk about monotonous life, what monotonous life is, uh, you know, if I talk about sir, right, he used to travel 9 cities in 7 different days, right? For that, one needs to follow that monotonous life, right? Wake up at 6, and then winding up the day by 10 o'clock, right? So if you want to achieve something, so you need to work hard, you need to be a smart worker at the same time. But how will you become smart? You'll be becoming smart only if you are, following the same day in day out, and achieving those, or playing those things uh, at its merit, right? If you take the example of any of the cricketer, right, or any of the sports person, right? They also follow the same, right? They used to wake up at 6. They follow the same routine day in day out, right? And that is how they become, the professional at times, right? So that is something one is to follow, and that is the foremost things, which is important, because all of you will be telling you, कि करियर बनाने के लिए ये करना पड़ेगा, ये प्रोजेक्ट्स कर लो. But first, and the first project which you should give to yourself is, you need to be honest to yourself. That is the first, projection which you should be having, right? So that is how we have concluded the first part, like, wherein I give you a glance of what Byjus is. Like, by far you would, got a clarity about it, right? The second part, in wherein we'll be discussing, more on the, what the profile is, right? And what will be your roles and responsibility with those profile, and what will be, just a moment.
Is joining
Just
this
allow me
one.
a minute, Devansh. There's a bit issue. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Sorry, got a call. That's the reason. Yes, I think I'm audible now. Perfect. So yes, we'll be talking more on the, the profile, which you all would be here for, and obviously you would be having a curiosity at the same time. What will be your role, and what will be the roles and responsibility being in the system, right? And how you can, create and those kind of impact with your skill set, right? So moving further, like, Devansh, do we have any questions so far, or can we continue? Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. So, if I talk more on the profile, right? Because I think I'll not brag about myself, but yes, I could be the best person, to tell you more on this profile, because I myself have started this journey as a, associate itself, as a trainee itself, which we are currently here for, right? So the if I talk about the profile is pretty clear, as those who download the application. So let's take, if a customer has downloaded, if a parent has downloaded the application for his child, right? So that is where those detail got entered into a platform, that is into Lead Square, which is a CRM software. So over here, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to speak to those parents, those who have shown an interest, those who have downloaded the application, right? And those whose child are using it, right? So those detail will be shared with the applicant, right? And once the applicant, speak to them over a over a, telephonically, the agenda is to understand what are the problems our parents is facing, right? Based upon that, we fix a counseling session with them, right? Counseling session, it means a meeting, right, wherein we can interact with them, because so that we can dedicatedly give those time to those parents and students, right, at the same time. And post that, you'll be enrolling those student, based upon the requirement, and what are the best product which we can suggest them, right? So that is what your role will be. Your role will be as an education counselor over here, wherein you'll be working as, and the job title which you'll be getting is business development associate, right? So that is the role which you'll be working into, and that will be your profile over here, right? So if I talk about the profile more, right? So this profile is basically a target oriented profile, right? Wherein you would be required to sell the Byjus product to the customer, as I already explained, right? So this job would expect you to work for 6 days a week, right? From Tuesday to Sunday, right? So now if you would be having a question, right? Why is it Sunday, or why is it why with this Saturday or Sunday working, right? Because when I started my journey with Byjus, few of my friends, those who are working with different organizations, they ask the same question, right? Because they would be enjoying their weekend on Saturday and Sunday, right? And I used to have my week off on Monday, right? But need to understand one thing, right? Because parents would be free on Saturdays and Sundays, right? So that is a day, right, when you'll be working on Saturday and Sunday itself, and Monday would gonna be a week off. All right. So you will be involved into calling the customer, right, in the initial part of the week, from Tuesday to Sunday, from Tuesday to Friday, sorry, right? So 4 days into calling, like, so during the weekend, that is on Saturday, Sunday, you will be available, you will be meeting the parent virtually, with whom you have fixed an appointment, right? Wherein you will be selling the product to the customer, right? So anyone and everyone, like those who download the application, right, that is available on the Play Store or the App Store, right, becomes a customer, right? And as I mentioned, that you'll be called as a education call counselor in front of a parent, and for the company you will be responsible for generating revenue. All right. Okay. So if I talk more on the detail on the calling part, so obviously we won't be doing any cold calling over here, like insurance sales or a credit card caller, right? We'll be speaking to only those parents, those who download the application from their end, right? So it is on us, like uh, how we speak, or how we narrate ourselves in front of a customer, right? So your day, the initial day, so if a day starts from 9:30 in the morning itself, right, and ends at 9 in the evening, अगर मैं ऐसा बोलूँ तो शायद सबको भी डर लग रहा होगा कि 9 से 9 का जॉब है एंड ऑल, right? So this is not the ideal day. The ideal day is 9:30 obviously, you need to start with. And this job is, no, this job is not a 9 to 5 wala job, being very honest, right? Because 9 to 5 में I would say, one, एक person जो होता है ना, वो खुद की creativity को kill करता है, right? Because that is more or less like wherein you'll be only working, and without any vision or mission, right? So this job will basically of 10 hours minimum, ठीक है? 10 घंटे की जॉब तो मिनिमम ये रहेगी ही, right? Wherein, because since it's a initial process for all of you, right? तो obviously वो extra time आपको लेना पड़ेगा to make it your own expertise, and once you're expert, that time will also be decrease at the same time, right? So as I mentioned, that this is basically a target based profile, right? So you would be having certain targets at the end of the day, at the end of the week as well, which you need to generate, and that is depend upon you, what location you are and what campaign you are into, right? So you not to worry, like whatever the targets will be there, the targets would be the target would be average targets, right? Average based upon the what others have achieved on that particular location. Okay. All right. So if I talk more on the calling, so you would be calling to those parents and customers. The target audience will be obviously the parents, because they are the actual decision maker, right? So on a daily basis, you're supposed to call to 100 customers on a daily basis, and you need to schedule a meeting with them. With the potential one, those those who are into need of those sessions, and and accordingly you can suggest the courses for them, for their child, right, during the meeting which you'll be having virtually. So you not to you know so 80% of 80 to 90% of the time, you won't be you won't be traveling, you'll be taking the session virtually. But here and there, 10% of the time, if a parent asks or says ki bhai mere ko, you can visit to my place and I want the session at my place, so that is a time wherein we need to be flexible enough and we can go down to that place, right? So for that, the company will be helping you out as well at the same time. Okay. So at the end of the day, if I talk more on the what will be your approach, will measure everything from your input. Okay. What efforts you put in, right? The quality of the quality work which you do, and the output at the same time, right? So your work would be, calling customer, again I'll reiterate, booking counseling session, conduct online video session, and sell the courses we have. Okay, right? So that will be your work. So this is what the journey, if you talk more. Okay. So this is what the about the profile, what will be your role, right? Now the second part comes to what will be our compensation, sir, because ठीक है, अभी तक क्या आपने काम बता दिया, कंपनी के बारे में बता दी, but the major motive of a person like getting into corporates, or doing a job, or getting into any government job is to earn money and to get a stable life, right, at the end, right? So you need not to worry at the same time, because by far you would be under, you have known that the standard of Byjus, right? So obviously you'll be getting the best what we are in the within the if I talk more on the fresher, like they get the best of the compensation, with respect to what we are having in the business right now. Okay. So if I talk more on the compensation, there are three things which I'll share with you all, because that will give you a clarity, more clarity on it. Okay. So the first is the career propeller, right? Because everyone wants to make his career, right? Everyone, every one of us are here for career development at the same time, right? So we have launched three career propeller by far. Right? The first is education, executive education program, right? So this courses, this is a registered courses which will be getting from Premier B School, right? Obviously, but at the same time you need to be out of the box performer, to attain and to get those executive program ka certification, or the profile enhancement, ठीक है, certification which you'll be getting from top B school, right? Second is managerial development platform, right? So by far in my career of 5 years, what I have understood is everything can be learned, right? But if you get a proper guidelines in terms of how to manage people, right? So that is the biggest gift which you can give to yourself, that is uh, managing the people, right? People management, right? So we have launched the development program for the same as well, right? So you'll be getting a real life situation based courses customized to what Byju's context is, right? So there'll be skill enhancement, from world class teachers, those who world class trainers, those will help you to upskill yourself and most move to a managerial role as well, right? And the third is based upon the performance. As I said, like I started as associate into sales, currently I am a zonal manager into recruitment and L&D, right? So that is how, based upon your performance, you'll get an equal opportunity, moving further. Okay. So that is more a quick glance on what are the career perspective which you can have at the end of the day, right? The second is the hierarchy part, right? So if I talk more on the growth, the growth is the first wherein we all sit here as an applicant. So if you all get select, right, if you get on board with us, right, you'll be joining as an applicant, right? With 1.5 to 2 months of your training performance, right, you'll be proceeded further as an associate, right? After associate you'll become a manager. So there's no particular tenure that you can become manager only after 1.5 years, or only after 5 years of your, or 3 years of your. It's totally a performance based profile, right? So based upon those, those numbers, right, from associate to manager. So manager is one who takes care for 15 to 20 associates under him, right? And then you'll get promoted as a assistant senior manager, right? Wherein as assistant senior manager, you will be dealing with approx to 40-45 people under you, right, with three managers under you, right? As a senior manager, one used to have 5 to 6 managers under him, right? And obviously various other carriers are also included as well, including PNL, right? And then assistant general manager, director, AVP, and VP, right? So if you see the arrow, right, you would having the curiosity at the same time कि ये arrow क्यों दिया गया है, right? From associate to senior manager, it's 89%, and associate to AVP is 100%, right? So what does that mean? This mean that if a person has joined as an associate, 89% or no, out of 100, 89 our senior managers have grown internally. So this is one of those organizations which believe more on the giving the growth organically within the system itself. The reason being is a senior manager, if he has worked as associate or as a manager, he'll be understanding each and every problem at the same time, right? And then can solve your problems and query at the same time, and obviously the empathy will also be there, right? So that is what this organization is all about. It's those people who are working with us, they work as for the organization. They don't think much, right? So if I talk about my like I'm today is my week off. Basically today is Monday, right? Even others are also having a week off today, right? But we all are over here. It's not company has not asked us, right? It is the initiative which we have taken, right? And that is something at the end which we work for, right? So that is how you grow, right? That is how you uh, once you challenge yourself, once you go ahead of your time, right? That is where you'll grow, right? And so I won't want anyone to doing that. It should be from your inside itself, वो gut feeling खुद से आनी चाहिए, वो खुद का kick खुद से आनी चाहिए कि कि what should be right at what time. ठीक है? So this is how the career propeller I talked about, the growth, and now the incentive part, right? So uh, there's no particular incentive, there's no upper cap to the incentive basically. It is totally depend upon your own performance, at what pace you want to grow ahead. आप किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, and किस तरीके से आगे आप ग्रो होना चाहते हैं. ठीक है? तो totally depend upon your own performance, at what pace, at what if you want to run as fast as we are growing, rest will be taken care. ठीक है? So over here, the best of the associate, they earn lakhs of incentive as well. They gets various trips as well, right? Abroad, right? Various gifts from Byjus. Obviously we all are technology geek, right? So these are fascinating things do we do provide, based upon the performance. So this company is basically will be judging you based upon your input, your output, right? And obviously your ethics, right? What are your work ethics and what are your mindset? If you're one of those, right, you love enjoying working with us, right? Yeah. So Devansh, here I have completed what the profile is all about. Yeah. Yeah, please, please, please. Mhm. 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 Sure, sure. Uh, Okay. So as I said, in the first 3 months of your training will be mostly into your training will be, the initial first week will be wherein you'll be getting to know more on the insights of what products we are into, right? And what are the product we deal with, right? So each and every, and what will be their KRA, right? So as I said in the webinar itself, the targets is basically depend upon at what location you are into. You're into a tier one, tier two, or tier three, and in which campaign you're working into, right? So if you're working into one of the premium campaign, so obviously the target would be more with respect to what you'll be having with a normal campaign. So yeah, it's difficult to tell up specific numbers, but it will be average, right? As I said, whatever will be achievable targets which you have done in the past 5 years of the research, those numbers will be given to you. So currently we are dealing, or we are hiring only for business development associate, right? So based upon a performance with 2 years of a performance, once you get manager, once you are eligible for a manager role, right? That is a place wherein you can get an opportunity based upon your skill set. But initially, currently, we are only hiring for business development associate. Devansh, am I audible? Perfect. So currently we are hiring only for business development associate. That is, yeah. So it depends upon the requirement again. Like, so currently the idea is that you'll be starting with a single product that is from 4 to 12th, right? Or from nursery to 12th, I would say, right? And depending upon the requirement, so it is all about, the conviction is required to sell a product, right? It cannot happen overnight, right? And those conviction will only comes up when you'll have the proper clarity about what the product is, right? So it is something a step by step thing. So initially we'll be training you with Byjus classes and Byjus courses, for a school going student, because that is the major market which we deal it to. Mhm. So the again interested is something. I would say, the work which you'll be doing remains the same. Like, no, it is just difference of the product. The target would also, I would say, will remains the same. The KRA would also remains the same, right? So it is only the product which will be changed. So yes, obviously you can apply there as well. It's no That's not a problem. It's again a sister company of ours, right? But yes, if you're one of those, who wants to uh, thrive for a better future ahead, right? So you can go, like, you can take a call accordingly, I would say.
Oh, all right. So the next question is when the interview will get started once I apply?
Okay, so the plan is like, we are very quick in terms of those response, right? So if you apply today, right, tomorrow you'll get a call, tomorrow or day after tomorrow you'll and the process will be told to you, over the call itself, based upon your eligibility criteria, which, and based upon the location as well.
Okay. Okay. How many round of interview will be taken?
So there would be ideally two rounds, by two to uh, so there will be 2 to 3 rounds depending upon the profile right now. So the first round will be webinar, which will be attending webinar mostly, and then you'll be submitting whatever you have learned in those webinar, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
third round will be a direct interview with our recruitment managers.
Okay. All right. Okay. If one of the more question is job seeker is asking that if uh, he will
Can you name the job
hello.
seeker, so that they will also get, personalized the same time? You can name that person's, and
All right. There is a no name of the
okay.
candidates in the comment box, but we have questions that we are asking for. Then
Mhm.
the second question, the question is if a candidate would not able to achieve the target in the first months, in that any hand holding will be provided.
Okay, so Devansh, I would answer this question in such a manner that I again reiterate myself that in this profile within this organization is totally take care for your input. Will take will see your input as well, your process as well, and your output as well, right?
Mhm,
So if you are doing your input properly, that is a time wherein you are building up your own process, you're understanding the process. If your process is right, you'll achieve to the
mhm.
targets. It's very simple,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Okay. And the next question is any support will be provided as leads.
Yeah, as I said, right, you need not to worry about the leads. You'll be given leads from our end as well.
Hmm.
Those who download the application, they actually become our leads, right?
Yep.
And you'll be speaking to them, and you'll be fixing an appointment with them, and then you'll be watching with virtually meeting with them, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
Then next question is what is the conversion ratio as business?
Conversion ratio as business, because there are so many attributes which is attached to it.
Hmm.
So can you specifically ask a person, like, in terms of sales he's asking about, in terms of conversion of
Hmm.
employees, like, which figure he wants to understand?
All right. And to whom we need to deal and how will be taking doing the work? Is it a door meeting with the customer?
No, I said no, it's a virtually which will be meeting with them,
Okay.
right? And obviously, since it's a B2C and
Hmm.
the consumer is a student, so obviously you'll be dealing with parents and students.
One of the job seeker is asking that can you explain the product little bit in details? Is it similar like extra marks or topper?
If I talk about so the first and foremost thing is, as I said in the starting itself, again, I'm not bragging about the organization, but
Hmm.
this is one of those organizations whose vision was to revolutionize the education system, right? So we are totally into in-ear projection, like, so if a teacher is here, like suppose if I'm standing over here, there'll be a person, and in the ear, right, the all the animation will happens, with the hand gesture and all, right? So that you can understand it beautifully. Like, I would just give you a small uh, glance of it, like how we teach basically. So let's take example of a water cycle, right? अगर मैं अभी सबको पूछूंगा वाटर साइकिल, शायद किसी को नहीं पता होगा, या फिर there will be very few who will be able to answer it, right? But how we teach is, we take example of a tiffin, you know because all of us use tiffin, right, on a daily basis. सभी दिन पे हम टिफिन यूज करते हैं, right? So as soon as you keep the hot roti inside the that box, right, and you close it, right, there's a droplet comes up, right, at the top,
Hmm.
bottom layer पे, top layer पे the
Hmm.
droplets comes up,
बिल्कुल.
right? As the droplets, जैसे ही वो heavier होता है, it start falling down, right?
Hmm.
So that is how we teach, that is our way, through animation, through real life examples, right? We teach. So that is how we are different from others.
Hmm.
Hmm.
One of the job seeker is asking, can you please explain the salary structure for freshers?
Salary structure, as I mentioned, so it's it depend upon the location again, like, so your salary structure is ranging from 4.5 to 5.5 fixed, plus 3
Hmm.
lakh rupees variable will be there.
All right, thank you. How we will be approaching with the customer?
How you'll be approaching to the customer. So as I'll reiterate again. So those who download the application, so they are the basically people, those who have you know use who are using for the child, right, and for the learning purpose. So you'll be connecting with them telephonically first. You'll be understanding the queries. You'll be fixing, taking out time with them, right? You'll fixing a meeting with them, and then you'll be connecting with them virtually over a Zoom app, and then you'll be, upon understanding the requirement, you'll be selling the product to them.
Okay. The next question is coming up that there are lots of negative comments we are getting in the market, getting in the open market nowadays.
Mhm.
How
Correct.
we need, how need to deal with that and bring the business for the same. Will it
Okay.
get effect or to our business jobs?
See, I'll be very honest with it. Yes, there are so many negative things, which is going on right now in the market, right? But again, I'll explain with example, right? Let's take so Devansh, were you a backbencher or a front bencher during your school days?
Basically, I'm a front, not a back bencher and not a front bencher too. I'm middle bencher. मैं front में भी बैठता था, मैं back में भी बैठता था.
ठीक, done. So Devansh, you will agree with me, you would be, getting somewhere around 80-85% during your time, during your school days, 70,
Uh,
70,
yeah, yeah,
80%.
basically, yes.
Correct, right?
Yeah,
And there would your friend would also be there, right? जो कि 95% रहा होगा,
बिल्कुल,
95, 99, 90
बिल्कुल,
around, right?
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
सो जब आपके पेरेंट्स पूछते रहे होंगे देवांश, कि मैं आंसर यही करता था अपने पेरेंट्स को कि पेपर टफ आए थे, या आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स सिलेबस आ गया था,
हम्म,
या सिलेबस बहुत लेंदी था,
हाँ जी,
आई गिव रीजंस, राइट? रीजन
यस,
देता
यस,
था मैं, यू
यस,
नो क्योंकि मेरे को खुद को भी अच्छा लगता था, एट द सेम टाइम पेरेंट भी कन्विंस हो जाते थे।
बिल्कुल.
थिंक अबाउट देवांश कि वो जो स्टूडेंट जो कि टॉपर रहा होगा, क्या वो कभी किसी को रीजन दिया होगा?
नहीं, आई थिंक.
नहीं, राइट? सो दैट इज समथिंग विच वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। सो जो कर लेता है, वो कभी
हम्म,
रीज़न नहीं देता है,
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है? जो नहीं कर पाते हैं, वो रीज़न ज़्यादा देते हैं, एंड अनफॉर्च्युनेटली जो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उनके रीज़न ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं, हाइलाइट हो रहे हैं। तो दैट इज़ समथिंग व्हिच इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ अ नेगेटिविटी फॉर अस, But at the same time, I would also agree, we have also learned a lot in the past, that
Yes.
because during that phase, that during that path line, you also upgrade yourself, you also learn, right? So yes, the things have changed a lot, and the things have become better since then as well.
All right. Is this work from home opportunity or this is completely work from office?
No, mostly, not mostly, like it's work from office itself. There's no work from home opportunity available with us right now.
Okay, can you please tell me what is the duration of training?
Duration of training is approximately, as I said, it depend like it will be close to 1.5 to 2 months.
1.5 to 2 months. Okay. One more question is coming up that only experienced people can apply for this job or a fresher will also. Is there any notice period for experienced person wants to join our organization or it is the immediate joining?
No, so obviously we are hiring immediately, but so
Mhm,
it is not such that, like, if you are a right person, if you have a right set of skill set, and if you want to serve the system with the same kind of thought process, you know
mhm,
the things can wait for you as well. So this particular profile is for fresher as well, for experience as well, so
mhm.
there's no particular criteria. The only criteria is the kind of impact which you want to create, and one is to be creative enough, at the same time creative enough in terms of the mindset, in terms of that he wants to create those impact, right? वो willingness honi chahiye, and if that is there, right, rest will be taken care.
All right, one more question is coming up. Sir, I have completed the step-by-step process, but
Mhm.
while completing step 2, I am facing an issue relating to the privacy policy that is not mentioned. Could I complete step 2 now or later?
With step 2 he's talking about, I'm not aware of,
Okay,
I'm not clear about, which
okay, we
step.
can sort out this problem. The next question is I had applied for Byju's BDA role on
Mhm.
October 15 and completed my interviews on October 19. After on November 25, I had attended to webinar, but no one declared that or not even one mail that I selected or not.
Okay, so you can do one thing, Devansh. You can provide me my mail ID to them. I'll just
Oh,
type on the chat box, and the person like who has issues before as well, he can also write me on the same mail IDs.
all right. Okay. And the question is one more question is coming up that is there an incentive measures for the employees?
Yes, yes. As I said, like it's totally a performance based, and performance will be measured. So you'll be getting incentive as well based upon your performance itself.
Oh. Any age criteria?
Age criteria, as of now we don't have specifically age criteria, right? But yes, depend upon the eligibility as I said, and depending upon the skill set which will be, you'll be getting into.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So we can wait for some time that if there is more questions coming up, then we can.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So for now, so we are going to circulate this link because some of the people might not be able to join this session.
Mhm.
After that, if someone having any issues which I am not aware of, we can reconnect with them and sort out the queries.
Sure,
All right.
sure, Devansh. Sure,
So
Devansh.
now I will request to every job seekers to be the part of this happy family, and I would like to wish all the best to the job seeker. For applying this job, you can go to wooshly.com and register yourself and simply go to the job section where you can find the apply link. And you also want to do you also have to do one thing that you can get the Google form links in your description box. Please go through it and fill the form before go to wooshly.com. After that, you can go to wooshly.com, register yourself, and simply go to the job section where you can find the apply link. If you are facing some issues, please contact Wooshly team. We would like to help you and sort out your queries. Okay. So again, thank you so much, Mr. Akash and Adarsh and Mr. Hitesh Sharma for joining this event. And I am also very happy to join this. I will be the part of this session too. For now, I am okay to close this session. If you want to add up something, you can continue, or we are good to go, sir.
Okay, I'll just say the last line itself, like, that uh, since for a fresher, right, because they don't have much clarity about,
Hmm.
and at the same time they are also into ambiguity, right? So just give your best shot, learn the process properly, uh, understand your strength, right, and work on your weakness. So that is what should be the approach, right? And moving further, like, if all of you, will be having a right skill set, so definitely I'll be addressing you once again, post this, uh, once you get on board as well, right? So hoping that, maximum of you, will be meeting with you all, right, at at certain point, right, within the office itself, right? All the best wishes to all of you, to all the job seekers, and to all the experienced candidates at the same time, right? If you have any queries, you can write me on akash.chandraka@byjus.com, which I'll already shared with Devansh. I hope by now you would have got the mail ID as well, right? Yeah. So that's it from my end, Devansh. It was great, having you as well within this, for this webinar as well, right? Uh,
Thank you so
and
much.
yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Okay, we are going to end this session. Thank you so much for coming this event. Okay. All right. Have a great day ahead.
Great day. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, Adarsh. And thank you so much, Desh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thanks.